In the previous video, or in the part 1 of multiplying decimals, we learned how to multiply decimals. So let's do some examples and really make sure that we're really prepared for these type of questions. So let's find the product of 15.2 and 0.16. So when I multiply, I would probably set it up like this. And the first step is, remember, to always estimate. So if I estimate, we get around 15 times by half. It's not even 1. So I know my answer should be half of 1. So what's half of 15? So that's literally saying 15 times by 0.20. But we could just think about it. For this one, it could be a little bit hard to estimate. So if we have 15 and we're really timesing it by not even 1. So our answer should be very low. It should be about, so under 5. That's what we know for a fact. Because it was 0.5 times a 15. That was literally telling us, okay, it's half 15. That would have been about, that's 7.5. So we know it's really low. It's less than probably 5. Now, also, and this is something I did not mention in the previous video, when you're lining up your thing, it should be decimal. If you have 2 decimals, both decimals should line up. So right here, I can't do like 15.2 times by 0.16. This will be incorrect because this isn't lined up, right? I mean, it wouldn't be incorrect, but you're going to mess yourself up. So make sure they're lined up. Now, our next step is to make it 100, whatever, right? So now I would change this a little bit because I would times by 100. This one has times by 10. So times by 10 leads me to 152. And this one has times by 100. That leads me to, so it would really lead you to 0.16, but you can just not write 0 if you don't want to. 1.6. And you solve, this is the end thing we end up solving. I'm not going to solve it because that's not the same as well. So when I solve it, so I should get 2.432. Now we times it by 10. And we times this one by 100. So we're not just, so this is what you could do. So 10 times by 100 is equal to 1/1000. So we times it by 1,000. So this is telling us, what does this fraction bar mean? This really means that you're dividing. So 1, right? So we have to divide now by 1,000. You could have also done 10. So another way you could have really expressed what you've just done is you could have said, okay, 10 times by 100 gives me 1,000. So that's really good. That we know we divided. We have to divide by 1,000. So this is our decimal place pretense, right? It's always at the end, right? Now it times this by, okay, that's right over here. If I put it here, that's times 10. But right in between there, that's 100. Right over here, 2.432. That's your final answer. Now, our estimate told us it's gonna be very small number because it wasn't even 1. And it wasn't even 0.5. It was very low. And this is a really low answer. So we know we've done it right and we are not wrong. If it would have been 2,000, we know we've done something really wrong. Let's do one more example. So now let's do find the product of 0.25 and let's do 0.25 again. So, for this, same thing. I'm going to times this one by 100. And this one might be a little bit complicated, but because we have times both by 100 this time. This just gives us 25. 25 times by 25. And when you actually solve this, you should get 624. Now, if we would have estimated this, this is very low. You could estimate that this answer will be less than 1. So, I know we didn't do that in the very beginning, but now we know it should be less than 1. Now, since we times 100 times 100, or you could think about it, 1 over 100 times that 1 over 100, that gives us 1 over, what's this over here? 10,000. Now you have to divide it 10,000. I know it seems a little bit overwhelming, but technically all you really have to worry about all those zeros. How many places? So that means we have to move our variable right over here 4 places. So this would be 1 place. This would be 2 place. This would be 3 place. This would be 4 place. So our answer is 0.0625. You can add that 0 in the front if you would like. And that's our answer. It wasn't really that complicated. It was just all those digits, all those zeros, and all the decimal places we had to work with. So, that's it for this video. Hopefully this video helped, and hopefully made multiplying decimals a little bit easier.